I've got 10 absolutely awesome Apex Legends pro tips for you guys, but also I've got some bonus tips, and I can guarantee this will make you a more knowledgeable player. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa and this is Unit Lost. Okay, alright, let's take a look at this. So what we're going to do in this video is take a look at 10 pro tips and a couple of bonus tips as well. Some of the developers have been dropping knowledge bombs on Twitter, and I've got this information together and we're going to discuss this in this video, but also I'm going to throw in a bit of added extra spice and give you some of my own funky tips that I've learned from playing the game so far. Alright, let's take a look at this. Number 1. Blow up doors with frag grenades. You can actually destroy doors. Now, you can't fire at them with your weapons and cause them to blow up, but what you can do is blow them up with explosives. Now, this is actually really cool because it means if somebody's camping in a building and maybe you don't have the best line of sight to fire through the windows, or maybe there's not even windows in the building, what you can do is blow the door up. This is really good because then it means it's easier to throw grenades into the building. It also makes the people in the building panic because they're like, oh my god, the door has exploded, what the hell am I going to do? And it gives you better line of sight to fire at them. Also, you can kick doors. So if you get near a door and you use melee, it will kick the door open. The thing is though, this I don't think is necessarily a great idea unless you want to look cool as hell. Like, I don't know, you're The Rock or somebody kicking the door down and rushing into a building. But it's actually quicker to just open the door normally. So yeah, you can blow up doors. Awesome tip. Number 2. Use the balloons to redeploy and cover area fast. Now, not a lot of people actually know what the balloons are for, which is totally baffling to me. So, this is the way they work. If you drop into an area from the drop pod, the drop ship at the start of the game, awesome, it's cool, maybe you loot the whole area, but then you need to travel pretty far to get into the next zone. Well, what you can do is, sure, you could run, and that's great, but maybe you're not maximizing your time in the area you're in. If there's a balloon near, what you can do is stay in the area until the zone really creeps upon you, then you can run to the balloon, go up the balloon and use it to redeploy just like you would out of the dropship. Now, it's not as high as the dropship, but it will allow you to rapidly traverse the terrain. So it's a really cool tip for moving around the map super fast. Number 3, well, we know this game has got a ridiculous ping system. It's the smart comms system, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, I wish other games like Overwatch had systems like this, so you could actually talk to your team without getting attacked with toxicity and all of that stuff. It's a phenomenal system, but there are some really funky little things you can do with it. One thing which I don't think a lot of people realize is you can request ammo from the weapon you have got equipped. So if you've got a heavy weapon equipped, if you hover over the ammo icon and use the ping button, it will actually say, I need that ammo. That is super good, and it's not that clearly marked on the UI, so maybe a lot of people don't know you can actually do that. It's a really cool tip because you need ammo. If you don't have ammo, well, how are you going to kill the enemy? It's simple science. Number 4, gold equipment has got the same stats as purple equipment, but each bit of gold legendary equipment has a bonus perk, whereas the epic purple stuff doesn't have that. So let's go over what they are. Helmet. Now, you might have seen this in my Lifeline guide. This gives you faster tacticals and faster ultimate charge. This is really good for Lifeline because you want Lifeline dropping as many drop pods as possible. So if you ever find this and you've got Lifeline on your team, give her the yellow head armor. Head armor? Head armor. I'm not even going to edit that out. Professionalism. Give her the yellow head armor. It will make her ultimate charge faster. If you've got epic already, you're not actually losing out. You're only losing out on ultimate charge. But like I said, super strong on Lifeline. The armor refills shields after an execution. So that means when you down somebody and they're on the ground, instead of just shooting and killing them, you can actually execute them and you'll get shields back. Now, executing people is a bit of a risky move. Generally, you want to just kill people if you're in a gunfight when you see them down and you can take them, especially if it's in the final zones of the game. Going for the snazzy sort of execute play, yeah, it looks cool, and yes, I do it a lot. I mean, you've seen at the start of this video, I kind of did a bit of it there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. You've got to be stylish, ladies and gentlemen. The backpack, this is a funky one. So health and shield consumables take half as long to use. So everything is 50% faster. So your shield recharge and your health, your med kits, your syringes, your phoenix kits, all of that, they are twice as fast when you use them. So this is really good. Like, that's really good on every hero. The knockdown shield, now this is funky as well. This gives you a self-revive, but it's only one-time use. So when you get knocked down with this, if your team are in a team fight and maybe it's getting a bit heated, they can't actually get to you, but maybe you're safe, you can bring yourself back to life, and this catches people off guard like you would not believe it. Because sometimes teams will take you down and they're like, okay, that guy's knocked down, let's focus on the rest of the group. But if you've got this, you just come back to life and they don't expect it. And then you can crawl around, well, crouch around, move around so you're silent, get into another good position. It's really, it's a really good item. That is absolutely awesome. Number 5. Did you know you can actually wall climb to higher places by jumping and keep pressing forward? I bet you didn't. I struggled with this to begin with because I was trying to like double jump up walls and stuff like that. But if you actually run forward, jump and keep running forward, you jump onto a wall and then you sort of, I guess, like scuttle up the wall a little bit. It's really good. You can climb a lot of areas that don't look climbable by doing this. So it really extends your climbing range. Make sure you do it all of the time. Number 6, you can find gold equipment everywhere, but it's very rare. So you can find this inside the care package that, inside the drop pod that Lifeline drops. You can find it inside care packages that come from the sky, which are like the random generated drop pods. You can find it in resource bins, supply bins. You can find them anywhere, but always be on the lookout for them. And remember, this is why you want to keep spamming Lifeline's drop pod, because it gives you this chance of every now and again, you may get a really good quality legendary item. Number 7. When you've kind of got used to the UI and you've got used to what the loot looks like and what you need, you can actually reduce the amount of clutter on the UI. So if you go into the settings, you can turn on an option called compact loot prompts. And what this will do is sort of squash the heads up display together so it's not as cluttered, so you don't have all of the icons everywhere. But this is a bit of an actual real pro tip here. Only do this when you're comfortable with the loot. Don't do this straight away because you might get confused. Number 8. Bangalore's smoke actually does damage. So it doesn't do a massive amount of damage, but it does enough damage to kind of make it a funky little thing to fire at people's face. Now, obviously, if you're playing Bangalore, you kind of want to use your smoke most of the time in engagements. Generally, you want to fire this to block line of sight from the enemy or to sort of cover your position to make maybe a retreat so you can heal. But if they're rushing towards you, don't be afraid of firing your smoke down or maybe at them and then firing at them with your weapon. Of course, it makes more sense to shoot them with your weapon. You will kill them faster, but it is something that you might be able to use in a super clutch scenario. Maybe you've run out of ammo, but you've got your tactical ability available, so you shoot them with the smoke grenade. Awesome. Number 9. CAUSIC can shoot his own gas traps. He can also block doors with them. So this is really cool. You can throw your gas traps down and fire at them and it will trigger them. Now, normally they'll trigger when an enemy goes through them, or like gets close to them because they're proximity based, or if an enemy shoots them. But if you shoot them, if you see an enemy coming around the corner, you can pre-fire into them to make sure that it hits them. Also, it can push them away from an area. If you ever drop in the bunker, CAUSIC is fantastically good in there because he can throw down all of these traps and literally take over the whole area. He's super good in a close sort of combat scenario where, you know, you're in a building basically. He's really, really good for that. Number 10, and this, I absolutely love this. This is such a cool feature in the game. Now, this came from the Twitter of Sean Slayback, one of the developers for Apex Legends. And check this out. The ranging marks on every full-screen sniper optic will always be accurate for the rifle you're using. Watch the mil dots reshuffle in real time as you aim far up or down. Use the rangefinder and line up the right tick mark to tag those long-range headshots. That is awesome. Also, there's a little bit of an extra tip here with the scopes. You know Bloodhound's tracking markers? Well, they increase in range if you've got scopes. How cool is that? Okay, let's get on to the bonus tips. So I guess number 11. Everybody knows about headshot multipliers, right? You shoot them in the head, you do more damage. If you get the Skull Piercer weapon mod, you're going to do more damage with certain weapons in the headshot. That's cool. But did you know that Apex has actually got leg damage as well, and it scales? So if you shoot somebody in the feet, it does less damage than shooting them in the knees. That does less damage than shooting them in the waist. That does less damage than shooting them in the chest. That does less damage than shooting them in the head. That is really cool. Now, this isn't actually shown in the firing range, but I believe they've got plans to update that to show that. But yeah, generally you want to shoot people in the head or the chest for maximum damage, but shoot them in the legs if for whatever reason you're in a scenario where it's like, I can shoot them in the feet or in the knee. Shoot them in the knee because you'll do more damage. Oh, now this is really cool. So this is from the Reddit user, TheBigSmoke, and this is a guide for dropping. Now, I've got to admit, the way I've been dropping has been the bad way. I will just come straight out the dropship and fly directly towards where I want to go, believing that this is the fastest way to do it. Actually, this Reddit user has found out that no, it's not actually the best way to do it. What you should be doing is dropping down to a certain level, leveling out to a certain speed, dropping down again, and you will hit the ground faster. Now, of course, it's a massive advantage to be able to drop quick to a really high, good, like, value loot area, because you get the weapons, you win. We've all been there where we drop and there's a squad in front of us. They loot all the bins and you're like, oh, okay, I've got nothing but, I guess, harsh language and this a random grey weapon stock to try and fight you with. And oh my god, you have got, I was going to say they've got the Mozambique, but if they've got the Mozambique, you'll probably beat them anyway, because it's a horrifically bad weapon. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. This has been a look at a load of pro tips that we've got so far for Apex Legends. I wanted to cover all of these cool things that are not very clear in the game. We don't know a lot of these things because the game doesn't really tell us, but through playing, we get more experience. And the cool thing with this is as time goes on, we'll get more of this stuff starting to come out, and it's just going to get more and more detailed. And that's what really attracts me to this game. There's so much going on. The meta seems really quite diverse. There's loads of ways to play the game. Everything different every single time you play. It's fun every single match. The weapon play is so smooth, so crisp. It's just beautiful. But yeah, guys, I'm really enjoying this game. I know you guys are as well. Let me know if you want to continue to see footage, coverage on this game, and in the comments below. Let me know how you think about this game. You know, just go crazy, guys. All right, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, which is @Stylosa. I do have a competition running at the moment where you can win 10,000 Apex coins. Although this will end on the 11th of February 2019. So if you guys are watching this video after that date, don't worry about that, but there is a link to this in the video description, or at least in the comments below. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.